Hey everyone, it's Jan here, and I'm going live to talk about keto versus low carb. So we have a lot of people that have been asking questions about, do they want to do keto versus low carb, or can I switch from one to the other? How does that work? And so I'm going to give you some information, but then we're going to make sure that we get you connected with the right information and answer your questions. So if you have questions at any time, you can drop in the comments, and if you're doing this on replay, that's fine too. Drop them in the comments. We'll come back and answer those as much as possible. So first of all, when you get done with your 8 days, so your 8 day you're set up, and it directs you with what to eat. You have your shake for breakfast, typically a snack, your lunch, a snack, and dinner. And you are 6 ounces of meat, 2 cups of veggies. And so that's pretty simple. But when you get done with the 8 day, it's kind of like, what do I do from here? So in the books or the guides, it will tell you to make a choice between keto versus low carb. And if you are on the Core Plus or above, it has a book that gives, in the guidelines in the back, it talks about the low carb and the keto and gives you a few tips. If you're on the trim down trio or the double down, you don't get that information. So I'm going to share some here and then hopefully clear up some information for you. So first of all, with the keto plan, so if you love meat, cheese, and avocados, that's what it'll say in your guide. So if you love those things, then you want to probably go with the keto. So like, I love cheese, I love cream, I love butter. And so I went with the keto plan because I knew that those were the things that would help satisfy me. Of course, I have vegetables, eat vegetables and, meat. So that wasn't a big deal, but I knew that I like dairy. I like the cottage cheese, yogurt, those sorts of things. And so I knew that the better plan for me was the keto. Okay. So, and then there are parameters, and we should have shared those with you. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining. There are parameters that you are following. So on the keto, you are setting into an app, and we use MyFitnessPal, which is an app that is free. There is an upgrade to it, but you can use a free part. That's fine. And when you set your parameters, it's 5% carbs, 20% protein, and 75% fats. So your fats are things like your cream, your avocados, just lots of different things like that. Your butter, your oils, those sorts of things are the fats, ranch dressing. So you set your parameters. You're still keeping your calories about 1,200. So your goals are 1,200, and then to stay within those parameters so that your body can burn that as it starts burning up fat instead of storing it as glucose and using that sugar. So you want to make sure that you're keeping it within those parameters. If you go too high on your carbs or too high on your proteins, then your weight it may slow down the weight loss, or it may stall. So it's very important that you stay within those and then keep the calories. Once you've done it for a while, you kind of figure out what that looks like for you. So then you maybe continue to put it into your app, but you have a better idea of what your proportions or your portion sizes should look like, and then what some of your choices are. Okay, so for the low carb meal plan, so a lot of people are like, I really think I want to go low carb. Well, here's the thing with low carb that I want you to think about. So it says if you like lean meats and veggies. Okay, so some people think that if you go low carb, that allows you to have your breads and your chips and things like that. So most of us did not gain our weight by eating chips or by avoiding chips and bread. For me, it was chips and bread all the way. Chips, bread, chocolate. That was my diet if I could make it as much as possible. Okay, so with the low carb, it talks about keeping if you like the meats and veggies, do that. But most of your carbs are coming from your veggies. If you look at veggies when you enter them into your apps, it will show you that they have a lot of carbs. Okay, but they're healthy. They're healthier carbs for you, but they still have carbs. And so when you're doing the carbs, there's a couple of options that you'll see. Some places it'll say 20 to 25 carbs a day, and some it'll say 30 to 50. So typically it's probably going to be closer to your 30 to 50 if you're doing the low carb, but you still keep your calories at around the 1,200. So it's very, very important that you're tracking all of that, okay? And then you're keeping your fats low. Proteins are a little higher than your fats, but again, the thing is tracking it all. So a lot of times people will be like, or they'll think that if I have proteins, I'm good. You can have too many proteins too and gain weight. So you just got to really, until your body has reset, you've hit your goal weight, you kind of have an idea how to manage your food choices, then you want to be mindful of that. The other thing the low carb says is that you can have a cheat meal on every Saturday. And so basically what that means is the seventh day you can have one meal that you can have whatever you want to eat. So if you want mashed potatoes and gravy or, pumpkin pie or whatever it is, you can have that during the cheat meal. Now for me, the biggest reason I didn't choose low carb was because I know myself. If I gave myself that cheat meal or knew I could have that cheat meal, one cheat meal would become two and two would become, three. And then instead of one day, I'd have it 2 days. Well, if I had a cheat meal on Saturday, what difference would it make if I had another one on Wednesday? So that was my issue with it. Plus, I found out that, like I told you, I love chips, cookies, those kinds of things. Those were my weak points or weak spots, bread, and donuts, whatever. And so I just had to make sure I didn't have it in the house. And so someone shared a feed this morning saying that they had a delicious sandwich or hamburger with a bun on it, and they just threw the bun away right away because they knew that they probably would eat it. So until you get to your goal weight, those are the things that you're going to have to, yourself. So you need to decide, how important it is for you to have it around the house or not have it around the house. But so making your choice, keto or low carb, that's entirely up to you. And we will coach you through each of those as much as possible. And I will tell you that on both plans, a lot of times if someone is having an issue and they're, don't feel like they're losing the weight that they thought that they would lose, we typically will look and they're taking in too many calories. Here's an example. I had someone that was not losing weight. She sent me her food choices. She was taking in yogurt. We eliminated the yogurt. She lost 4 pounds in a day. Okay, so just it was way too high in carbs. And so look at that and just yourself. And so making the choice about what would work best for you. Can you switch from one to the other? Of course you can switch from one to the other. If you start out with keto and then it's not going to work for you and want to go low carb, we'll just adjust it. Same thing, vice versa if you go the other way. So if you guys have any questions about each of the programs, whether it's low carb or keto, our focus is to help you have the best success on the system as possible. Everybody's got different systems. Our weight loss systems are our trim down trio, our double down, and a core. When you get to the Ignite and the Ultimate, those have some health products in there as well. So you've got that added piece to it. But know that that depending on your system too, you still will have success. We just need to make sure that we're giving you the best options to have the best success possible in losing the weight that you want to lose. And here's the other thing to remember. It's not all about the scale. So I know a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, I didn't lose a pound this week. But if you are measuring and you're losing inches, remember, we're burning fat. And so that's our goal, is to burn fat and have our body utilizing that instead of storing it. And so these systems are designed to help you with that. They're designed to help with your appetite control. They're designed to help with your cravings, your blood sugar levels, all those things that are points of failure for people when they're trying to lose weight or maintain weight. And so don't be afraid to ask a question. If I don't know the question, I will go to the people that can help, and we'll make sure that we get your question answered. But also on your Zingular site, there's a resource tab. So you click on your resources and it has all of this information in there. So even if you did not get, if you got the Trim On Trio, which is the shake, the drink, and the pill, if you got that system, you didn't get a guide with it. So this is an Ignite guide. Okay, so and it has all the information in there, right? But if you didn't get that, just go into the resources and you can click into the different guides in there and check things out. And if you like recipes, so if you are Zingular Recipes on Facebook, to know that you're on the right page, it will have a little recipe box, and you just click on that, and there's all kinds of recipes in there. Also, if you are keto and doing the keto diet and have not joined the I'm Doing This For Me page, shoot me a quick message in the comments, and I will invite you to that. That is all keto. So it goes through there. There's videos from nurses that explain what's happening when you're using keto. There's a video that talks about flu. There are tons of really, really good recipes. I mentioned that I love sweets, love chocolate, that sort of thing. I haven't had those cravings like I did before on this system, and so, but I still wanted chocolate, and so I found a couple of recipes in there that are great fat bombs. So there's a cookie dough recipe. There is a recipe where you take cream cheese and then I use the Swerve sugar, which has no carbs in it. And you can get that at Walmart and mix those together and freeze them. And then you dip them in melted chocolate, and it tastes like little ice cream balls. And so if you're an ice cream person and want just to treat that, they're called fat bombs, and those are on that page. Okay, so lots of great recipes that people will share on that page as well. Okay, so that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, pop them in the comment or shoot me a message, either personally or with your groups. And we want to make sure that everybody has the best success possible, and that you guys are on your way to hitting your goal weight and feeling as healthy and as good as you can feel. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day.